Hello! In this video tutorial, we're gonna learn how to open Excel workbooks safely using VBA macros. I have a new workbook here. I already saved it as a macro-enabled workbook, and we are gonna um, have a macro here. We're gonna create a macro to open other workbooks from here. And eventually we may want to copy or use some data in other workbooks into this new workbook. So let's go to the Visual Basic editor and insert a new module here. And here we will create a procedure. I'm going to call it open workbook safely. So the first thing we'll do is to declare some variables, and we're going to declare some string variables to hold the path of the workbook, the name of the workbook, and also the file name. The file name is going to be a combination of the path and the name. We'll see that in a moment. So, and then we will also declare an object variable as a workbook to hold the workbook we're going to be opening. Now, we will have a path. So we're going to define the path as the same path where this workbook has been saved. So that would be this workbook path. Now, in case we want to open a workbook in any other location, then we will have to specify the exact path. And I have copied here something. So for Windows, that would be something like this. So the WP path would be something like C users, username, documents, etc. Okay, so that's in case I'm gonna comment that. So that would be in case the workbook is in any other location in the drive. Now we have to specify the name of the workbook. In this case, I have a workbook called test file, XLSX with extension. So, but here you have to write whatever name your workbook has. And finally, our workbook file is going to be a combination of the path and the name separated by the backslash. Okay, because as you see in every path, there is the folders are separated by backslashes. And so here would come another backslash and then the name of our workbook. Okay, and now we want to check two things. We want to check that this workbook actually exists. So this is done using the dir function. So dir, if the dir that stands for directory, if the WB file, dir WB file is nothing, then it doesn't exist. Then we will display a message saying file does not exist. But otherwise, else, so if it exists, then we will do the second check. And the second check is to check the file is not already open. So we're going to have to loop through each workbook in each open workbook to check that this file is not open already. So we do that with a for each loop. So for each workbook in the workbooks collection, and we've used this for each loop in several other tutorials. So have a look at the other tutorials if you don't know how to use it. So here we're gonna put a condition. So if the workbook name is the same as our workbook name, Then, so if it's the same, it means it's open. Then we're going to display a message saying file is already open. And we will exit the sub. We will exit the procedure. Here we end the if statement, and we close the for each loop, or we go to the next workbook object. So otherwise, and let me make this a little bigger here. Otherwise, if the file exists and the file is not open, finally we can open the workbook. And that's done with the open method of the workbooks object or the workbooks collection for W file. And here we end our if statement, and that's the macro. So now let's play it and see how it works. And yeah, here, as you see in the background, it opened the test file. But now the test file is open. If we run it again, it's going to display, oh, it's already open. Now, if, let me close it. If we, I'm going to go to Windows here. Here's the test file. I'm going to remove it. If we remove the file, and we play the macro now, it's going to tell us the file does not exist. We just removed it. Okay, so this is how we open workbooks safely in Excel using VBA macros. Thanks for watching.